have like the impression to have like lasting pain from one meditation to another. So each day I feel it's like more difficult to sit or to just to be called. Even for the first seconds I already feel some pain, so it's like more difficult to focus. And yeah, so I was wondering if I'm like doing posture well, if it's like common for beginners, if I should try other posture. So for instance, in half lotus, sometimes I'm having a hard time just to maintain the posture.
The posture. Okay, so like first answer is it because of the flexibility of the body.
Yes.
Yeah. One thing is our body has been used for only like busyness or sleeping or doing some sport. So when you train it to sit down, like it is a new it's a new experience for the body, and that's why it takes time to be adjusted. So at that point, when it comes to practice, we just be accepting, like you have to accept the reality. Okay, this is the nature of my body, and Buddha said not too tight, not too loose. So, and this is the awareness or clearly comprehension, knowing that should you continue or should you stop. So, but like it's kinds of inner flexibility. You have to know that, okay, that is why we discussed yesterday about the gradual process. 5 minutes, like this day, normally if you practice 30 minutes, so you will increase only 5, and when you get that point, like when you get the point or station where it lasts for 30 minutes, normally, naturally, mentally and physically, you will experience the pain, because this is the being family of the body. So my suggestion is, even it's also I experience that. So normally I sit for 1 hour, and before 1 hour I experience the pain, and every time I experience that, like in between 40 minutes and between 1 hour, like in between the 20 minutes, it can be 50 or 40, I will feel the pain. So, and I know that this is maybe nearly 1 hour. So what I have to do is, before I fail, but after practicing, I just little bit, just not ignore, like the way we just more focus on the breathing, or I have to do some, we can say, loving friendliness meditation, like not to ignore, but while I am accepting the pain, I just maintain my focus. So this is the gradual practice. So yeah, so you have to do that, but not forcing, because some people they force that they want to continue for 1 hour. And when it comes to pain is not avoidable. Even for the experienced meditators, even for me, everyone, pain is not avoidable. You cannot, right? So what we have to do is, we have to adjust the mind. One thing is, we discussed yesterday, one thing is, you train your mind to be more focused, more aware, more mindful to your objects of meditation, so you will less pay attention to the pain. So this is the training, like, but step by step. Okay, so yeah. So and another good suggestion is walking meditation. Like if you cannot sit, if you cannot sit like normally you want to do 1 hour, but because of the body flexibility you can't continue, so you can stand up and you can start walking, but not like what I want to share is because that mind is, we call it, it can be laziness. Yeah, it can be laziness, it can be like inner motivation that this is enough. You have to stand up, you have to stop meditating. So that mentality is, in Buddhism, we call it mental hindrances, like the mind which blocks you from continuing your meditation. So another technique is, as I said, you have to stand up and you still, because the mind tells you to change the like your body, but okay, we accept that, but we still focus, we still like continue our mindfulness on walking. So it kinds of shifting. It can be kinds of, we call it, I like to call it like deceiving our own mind. It kinds of deceiving, like, because they are trying, I mean, our own mind is trying to cheat us, so we have to use a technique to deceive them. Yeah, so this is the technique, like you have to walk and still focus on walking. Like we change the body, but we still maintain our mindfulness. So this is the technique from the teachers, and and if while walking while you are walking you still cannot focus or continue, you stop for a while, you stand up and stop. If you don't want to walk, you get up and stand up and just being aware of your breath like 3 times or 4 times, and you can sit down and continue for another 5 minutes, 10, then you can stop. So this is the way for combating our, we call, mental hindrances. So laziness, distractions, all are a part of the meditation. So everything is, that's why I told you, like body, feelings. So when it comes to feeling, you have sadness, happiness. So you cannot expect that while doing meditation you only experience the happiness, or you only experience peace, you only experience calmness. No, you will experience sometimes even lust, even anger or frustration. It comes, it comes. So the training is, as I said, no reaction at all. So they keep coming, they all keep coming. So when your mind starts, getting calmer, like your awareness is very clear. You will see your own thoughts arise. Like, so what I want to say, we will experience everything during meditation, but the thing is, we train our mind not to react. It's clear? Yeah.
So so my second question is related to that actually. Is the importance of time in practice, because sometimes I feel like disappointed because I couldn't last very long. My teacher feel disappointed too, because it's maybe shorter than the last time, because I have like more pain or more sickness in the knee. So is it like important to focus on time to like evaluate your performance, or even, for instance, I think it's a bad habit, but I don't know, to put a timer, put like some beeps like every 10 minutes, something like that. And because if I feel like if I don't do that, I will just stop at like 15 minutes because I think it will be too long. So it helps me to like try more and don't be lazy, but I don't know if it's a good intention to focus on time.
Okay. First step is, I want to share with you, you have, before starting doing meditation, you need an intention or motivation. Okay? So you can say that what I am doing is for my own self, for my own happiness, for my own well-being. You have to intentionally motivate yourself that what you are doing is good for you. is one thing, and the timing it is very important. Okay, when it comes to the state where you feel the real calmness. Yeah, like when you sit sometime, like normally we sit for 30 minutes, then okay, but when you practice more and more, you will feel the subtleness of your breath, the calmness of your breath. So when you don't train your mind to continue a little bit longer, because why? Because what you are experiencing now, you won't be able to experience again in the next posture. You get the point? Like the calmness you experience now, like now you are starting. Normally you sit for 30 minutes. Then now you are starting feeling the calmness. Then alarm or your mind is alert that it is time to get up. So you are stopping your own calmness. Yeah. So that is why we train. When you feel that feeling, even you hear the alarm, keep continuing. Because what I want to be honest, not only me, not only her, that calmness, normally that calmness in our breath during the practice, sometimes we cannot experience it in next posture, in next 1 hour. Because they are naturally, they are naturally arising. They are naturally happening by themselves. For calmness to arise, we need, mindfulness, concentration, body sensation, like body flexibility. Then you will reach that calmness. So that is why sometimes in next posture we won't experience. That's why we. But timing, as I said, timing is important when it comes to the deep meditation. So, but if you just do at home, like because of the busyness of the life, you can it's okay. But if you go somewhere, like you want to meditate alone for 2 days, or you want to meditate 2 hours or 3 hours, 1 hour and one like that, so you will reach that state, the calmness. So timing is we call it kinds of interruption.
Okay.
Yeah, it blocks your calmness. So you have to be more concerned.
I should not put like some small dips at regular intervals.
No need. Because I think when you practice, you know that if you can tell a teacher, or like I think we can experience, like when the leg get pain or it hurts, we know that how long have you been meditating. So at that point you can manage yourself. If not, you can. If you meditate for 30 minutes, you can increase to 40. It's okay. It's 40, and like when you are reaching the point or 30 minutes, you will feel the pain, but you have to continue. You train your mind. It's about a training. So the longer you train your mind, the more experienced you become. So this is where the time is very important. Like it's kinds of game, it's the mind game. So we train ourselves not to be the slave of the mind, but not let the mind control us, but we train ourselves not to control the mind, but we train our mind not let our mind control us. So it kinds of balancing our own mind. Yeah. Okay. like when we practice ណាយល់គាត់ពីរឿងនិវរណធម៌ហ្នឹងណា so like for you who have been practicing for 30 minutes it's okay, but now when you come here you will experience that we call it, I explain to you, the mental hindrances. So hindrances, why we call mental hindrances? Because they block us not to meditate or not to continue for longer. Or so one thing is we call it kinds of sensual desires, like you want to eat this, you want to listen to this, you want to read the books, you want to do this. It's kinds of sensual desires, and I think you feel that, oh, I want to read the book, but sometimes we don't know what kinds of thoughts we have. It's one thing, sensual desires, so desire of doing something rather than meditating, okay. And the one thing is, another one is we call it Vyapada. It's about I call it it's about anger, frustration, depression. It's about the mental conflict we have during meditation. Like you get angry, oh, why I cannot meditate? You get frustrated. It is also hindrances. So it blocks you. Like when you feel that, you stop doing meditation. You like it distracts your mind to do something else. Like it motivates you to do something else, not meditating. It's a mental conflict. And the final one, the other one is sleepiness or drowsiness, or it can be physically and mentally. Sometimes very sleepy, you feel sleepy, it's about the body. And also sometimes your mind is very lazy to meditate. So they are hindrances. So they are not our own mind, our own real motivation. And Uddacca Kukucca, it's about restlessness, like distraction, mind wandering, okay, distraction, mind wandering. And the final one is doubtfulness. Sometimes you might have a lot of questions. Am I doing right? It is okay, it is right, it is painful, it is effective to my body. Like you have kinds of doubts about the practice, you know. You having doubt about the teacher, you having doubt about yourself, you are having doubt about the books, you know. So they are called hindrances. So when they arise, we just know, okay, I call it a creation of a negative side of my mind. Okay, they are just a creation of our own mind. I mean, in Western world you call it demon, or you can say vampire. Like they are a part of our own mind, but we don't know that. So they are also objects of our own meditation. Yeah, not to react at them. Just okay. So when it comes to that practice, sometimes you have to use the trick. That's why we have to be very skillful. As I said, you have to stand up and you have to sit down again, or you can continue for 5 minutes. Okay, I will continue another 5 minutes no matter what happened to my leg. So it kinds of, to be honest, we practice that, because 5 minutes nothing happened to our leg, but our mind keeps saying no, you don't do that, you don't like. It's kinds of the battle between the goodness and the badness. Yeah. ទីមួយក៏ញោមនោះក៏ផ្លោះគាត់ប្រហោះទៅ1ម៉ោងតែញោមអីដែរមុនហ្នឹងណាទីលើកក្រោយទៀតប្រហោះទៅ2ម៉ោងតែគាត់សាដើរចក្រមជួយចក្រមជួយច្រើនណាសាញតាហើយអង្គុយអត់សូវរៀនដូចគាត់ទេគាត់សាជាយើងច្រើនអត់ចេះតែជាគាត់ដូចថាគាត់ទៅមកធ្វើហើយណាមួយគាត់អញ្ចឹងគាត់មានថាបាត់ពីទាំងមកដល់អត់សូវល្អក្នុងសាពុកគាត់ជួបហើយផឹកអីចឹងគាត់អញ្ចឹងមានតែសង្វេគពីនោះមក No. So she's sharing, like there was a French lady. She meditated but I think she is a little bit experienced, and like she continued very well. Like normally she meditated only for 30 minutes, then she continued up to I think 1 hour and 1.5 hours, like sitting down. But she follow like the instruction, like after doing, like she walk. So walking help a lot for you to sit for long. But it's okay. It's okay. Nothing is loving kindness is good. Loving kindness, like when it comes to the practice, be kind to yourself is very important. Like okay, that's why I told you the intention is very important. Intentionally motivation. What I'm doing is I'm kind to myself. Like it's for the sake of yourself means being for the sake of yourself means you are kind to yourself, because what you are doing is for the sake of yourself, like your happiness, your own mind. You cultivate more, positive energies for yourself. Like it's kinds of kindness you have to have to yourself. Then you can keep continuing. Like so that is why motivation is very important. Okay? No. So she shared another story, like the reason she wanted you to continue, because one thing is I shared it before, but another thing is like it's kinds of stages we will experience. Like you will experience the pain, and after pain, it's naturally you feel the real happiness. So if there is a storm, there is a blue sky. Yeah. So you cannot experience happiness without suffering. So there are two parts, two edges of the practice. You get the point. Yeah. So this is the reality, and we experience that. So but we keep continuing. But what I want to say, you don't force yourself. You can stand up. You have to walk again, and little bit 5 minutes like that. Okay? Okay.
Can I ask you maybe one last question?
Yeah. She said like she suggested if you cannot, no need to put alarm. It's okay. Yeah. Because the mind is used to that.
Yeah, but actually I'm like tricking myself. Like my mind will tell, oh, it's been too long, it's already an hour if I don't put an alarm. Then I watch, it's only like 10 minutes, and I just...
Yeah, that's right.
Actually, like, the alarms help me like to keep going, saying how to stop, continue.
Okay. Oh yeah, or you can put like I got that có thà có đã tầm tí còn mưa chẳng I got that riêng you tí, but you little bit like longer. Yeah. Okay, so what is your final question?
Oh yeah, it's almost specification on words. Like, what's the difference between being aware, being mindful, and being focused?
Okay. So focus, in Pali we call it manasikara. So focus here we call it paying your attention to the meditation object. Yeah, it's paying attention. We can say concentration. We can say focus. So the same words, but they are referring to the manasikara, that paying your attention to the object of meditation. So it's the breath. So mindfulness has stages. Okay, so and you can say in English, you can say be aware, be mindful, like this. They are the English terms, but what I want to explain to you, the mindfulness in Buddhism is observing, knowing as they are, as real they are. So in that mindfulness you have kinds of acceptance, no reaction, no judgment. So it is within mindfulness. So because when you experience pain or happiness, you just still, you stay still, you stay calm, no reaction. So mindfulness is about, it's one thing is about no, in Western world it's about non-judgment, no reaction. But in Buddhism, when you practice more and more, it is in between. It is in the middle part. No wholesomeness. I mean, no bad, no good. You just in the middle. So, and this is the mindfulness. Be aware of everything, but no reaction at all. If you react, you will use the positive energy. You don't react like quickly. You know, this is the mindfulness. That's why we train. We focus on the breath, and we just be aware. Breathing in, breathing out. Whatever breath we are experiencing, we just know that we are experiencing as really they are, not as we feel, or not as we interpret, or not as we understand. So this is the nature of the breath. It is clear?
Okay.
Yeah.
But then I'm not sure to understand the difference between mindfulness and awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the book, they say you can be aware without being mindful, and mindful without being aware.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really know.
Yeah, like to be honest with you, when it comes to the practice, when you come to the real practice, you cannot, we call it, use the words to experience the mind. Do you get the point?
I'm not very sure.
Like when it comes to the real practice, because to be honest, mind doesn't have a proper word for them.
Yes.
You experience that. So you might have, it is mindfulness, it is awareness. This is the question we will raise. No need to raise. Yeah, because when it comes to Pali, again we also raise the question. Like when I meditate, I ask, it is manasikara, it is sati sampajanya, it is wisdom. Like we also have a question, but like the technical terms are there in the books. But when it comes to practice, you cannot take the technical terms to define your own mental experience.
Okay.
You cannot do that.
And from maybe like theoretical point of view?
Yeah.
Pragmatic in practice, but
Correct. It's one thing is, that's why I think I told you, when you practice, put everything down.
yes.
Put theories, thoughts related to meditation, or even my explanation, you have to put down. You will use it when you want it. But your purpose is, as I told you, you are observing your breath. Your breath is your teacher. Your breath is your instructor. But you just observing it and knowing it, no reaction, no judgment, just observe it. Just observe it as really they are. So that's why I told you, when you practice, if you can do, it's very good. Stop reading, because reading is kinds of distraction. Because when you meditate, when little bit you reach the stage where it is related to the book, your mind go to the book. Yeah. So you keep reading the book. Then after after being aware, you bring it back. So that's why it is advised, it is recommended not to read the books while you are practicing meditation. Like a long day retreat, but at your home, okay, it doesn't matter. But that is why, right? They are distraction. So even me, when I go to forest, when I go to meditation center, no reading at all. Yeah, I don't read anything. I read one thing. It's my own mind. Yeah. Okay, it's clear. Yeah. So simply, I want to share with you because my own experience, I know a lot of Buddhism. You know, not only Buddhism, I know psychology, I studied a lot. Then when I go to practice, I start meditating. Yeah, a lot of philosophy come. So I started thinking about the philosophy, not meditating. Then I read the book, then I consulted the teacher. He said, no, you have to put everything down. You have only one teacher, this is your own mind. You have only one book, that is your own mind. You have to read them well. How to read them? You use the mindfulness to read. You use the inner wisdom to read. So mindfulness is we call inner eyes to read your own mind. When you read the book, you use your physical eye, biological eyes. But when you're doing meditation, you read your mind by mindfulness. What it is, how they function, you know, what are in the mind. So I think we understand that this is the way we study. So yeah, and you might not know a lot of Buddhism. It doesn't matter, as long as you know the technique, the mindfulness technique, everything will be done. Yeah.
Yes, actually, I'm really curious about Buddhism. So that's
Yeah,
why
it's
I
okay.
can't help but read a lot of books. And then it's disturbing me. So.
Yeah. You can read, it's okay, but as I told you, they are distractions when it comes to meditation. And now I think you know that. Yeah, it's about a study. It's good. So just feel free, okay? Don't worry that you fail or distractions. It's okay. Just don't worry about that. You just be happy and just accept them, because failure, distractions, pain are a part of the practice. So you no need to be frustrated or depressed or feel sad about whatever happened. And what I want to share, after sitting, after you getting up, whatever happened during your practice, during your sitting, just don't come and analyze. Stop analyzing.
Okay.
You get the point?
Yeah.
Whatever happened, that's why we call it be at the present. Be at the present. So it was the past. You cannot do nothing about the past. Yeah. As long as you use the correct mindfulness. This is and it's also about mindfulness. So it's the past. It is the past. So don't worry about the past. So you just be aware. If you want to read in a book, or you want to walk, just be aware of your walking. When you sit again, okay, now I'm sitting. Don't take the past experience to analyze and keep comparing what you are doing now. So it's when your mindfulness is stronger, it's okay. You can do that, but during the practice, no need. After practicing, when you go home, you can do analyzing. But during this period, no.
Okay.
I think you get the point, yeah? Because it's not you might feel frustrated, disappointed. Okay, last posture I feel good, now why I don't feel good? You know, it's kinds of comparing. Yeah, I think you got the point. Okay? Okay, then keep in contact. Now I'm leaving to Phnom Penh.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a class. I teach meditation to Cambodians, the young generation, but as I said, everyone doesn't meditate, even they are Buddhists.
Yeah.
So, and I go not teaching Buddhist meditation. I will teach them the relaxation techniques in psychology, because everyone, young generation, are very stressful. Many issues in their life, so you just want to help them. So you can continue practicing. You are leaving tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay,
Maybe,
then.
I don't know if I see you before. I will leave. Yeah, not immediately after breakfast. Maybe.
After lunch.
Yeah, or just before lunch.
Okay, I will coming back tonight.
Okay.
So we can meet again in the morning.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
So keep practicing. Put everything down.
Yes.
Put everything down. Even you read the book, it's okay, but you have to put everything down. But good suggestion is not to read. So you can try this today, walking, sitting, walking, sitting. Yeah. Okay?
Okay.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.